Hi, welcome to part 2 of the LTS podcast. Remember, these podcasts are posted, the audio version at least, are posted every Tuesday of the week, unless otherwise told. And there's a video portion of this podcast that is on YouTube. So if you'd like to follow that one, follow the links in the description. So, see you then. Marcos out.
LTS.
Kick back, relax, and enjoy the LTS podcast.
My best friend.
they just come out to the length that they come out to, really. Because like the first video on my channel is like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. I don't even know how I had the patience to like go through and edit that. It wasn't too hard. It was just like matching up the voice lines to the text on the screen. But like, I don't know how I did it, because sometimes even like, I think my most recent video is like maybe a minute or 2 minutes long. And I'm just like, I can't do this. It's too much. But I just like the whole process. I actually, I didn't start posting videos until very recently because I didn't know how to edit. But now that I do know how to edit and I'm getting better at editing, I can do more stuff. Mm-hmm. So that like the editing process and how long it takes, it's not that bad. It doesn't really take that much of a toll on me. It's just like a minor annoyance, if anything. But like whatever it comes out to, it comes out to. I don't really have a process. If anything, I wish I could find more content. Like, I just don't know what to do.
Do you feel annoyed about the editing, or do you prefer creating the thing in your head and then send it off to an editor that you trust or that you like their style?
So, I like to do things myself, just because I want things done in a certain time. I'm a bit of a control freak. That's too much.
Fire scene in the background.
At my worst, I could be an extreme control freak, but I don't show that. But like, if I do things myself, then the only person I'm controlling is me. So if I sent it off to like another editor, I wouldn't want to bother them every so often about like, hey, have you finished this part yet? Or, hey, do you think by the end of the week you could do this? Like, I just don't want to be annoying. I don't want to lose friends. So I just rather do it myself. And that's why whenever I do projects, I'd rather voice everybody myself, because then I'm not waiting on other people and I'm not potentially annoying them. But like, as one person, I'm very limited. I know that if I want to make certain things, I need to rely on other people, at least a little bit. Yeah. So that's my take on it.
So I'm gonna go a little bit off topic here. More about your voice acting career. I'm probably gonna word this wrong. What type of voice is like the hardest for you to do? Because I've seen like you've done in a wide range of different like styles of voice. So
yeah, I wish I could do a more mature adult woman voice, but I just can't. And like, I like animation, I like character voices, but I also want to be able to do commercial work. But I feel like my voice just sounds like I'm a flimsy little kid. I can't sound like the woman on the Swiffer commercial, right?
What?
Right.
That's my one example that I always use. Yeah, I know. It's
That's the
stupid.
best one.
He's like, senpai.
Notice
Swiffer
me.
senpai, please clean with me.
Mr. Clean walks out.
No, but like, I just wish I could do more deeper, mature voices, but I just don't have that in my register, and I don't understand how to like unlock that. So that's
dig deep.
Yeah, but whenever I do, like, it just goes into like my Oh, now I sound like the way I do Ash Ketchum. This is horrible.
Oh no.
Hey, yo. Shout out
Okay,
to
so
Ash.
so can you give examples of that? Or actually, no. Better yet, can you give us an example of a style of voice you like to do? Like, it could be of any character that you've already done.
My favorite that I don't get to do very often is like bratty 8-year-old,
Oh no.
or
Wait.
whenever I did this like Twitter post where it was like, give me 6 characters to voice, and one of my friends he just comments a talking bomb, and I'm like, what the heck? So I
Bamba?
got one of the bombs from Mario 64, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna give it a silly little voice, and I'm gonna do it. Okay, you ready?
She's like, hold up, wait.
I gotta ready myself too. I don't
yourself in the
remember.
proper
I
mind
don't remember
space.
what the script is, but he goes, "Thank you, Mario," and like, I think that's the silliest shoot ever.
Don't worry, you can do it. You can do it.
Okay, I think it's the silliest shit ever, and I love doing it because the voices I normally do are like princess,
A lot more whimsical.
princess.
Wait, that's 3
Like,
princesses. Are you Princess Cubed? Prince Cube?
Okay, so my
Wait,
favorite.
what's that? What's Prince Cube?
No, you said 3 princesses in a row, so Princess Cube.
Oh, Prince. Oh,
Quick maths.
My favorite project I'm on is a dub of a fan comic of Super Mario Bros. And somehow I got roped into voicing Peach. But it's not like the, oh, Mario. It's like closer to like, her name is Rapunzel, right? Rapunzel from like the Tangled movie.
Yeah.
It's closer to like down to earth, not as cartoony. But my group loves that. So like I do like very gentle, like, oh, it's okay. Are you all right? Like stuff like that. But like I want to do silly things. I don't want to be, no.
You feel contained.
Yeah, so, but that's what I get cast for. But then it's also because I'm too nervous to audition for the silly stuff. But whenever I do audition for the silly stuff, that's whenever I have the most fun.
Oh, see? Oh my God. Okay.
Marco's like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, you're a spin tax now, right?
What? No, I'm not. I'm not a voice actor.
Oh no, I need to control
Bro, I'm
myself.
barely an engineer. I'm a voice actor. I'm not a voice actor.
He's a voice acting engineer.
Bruh.
I'm a voice acting engineer.
But yeah, like for me, like I did one type of project multiple times, right? And it was only for doing it in another language, and they just needed you're the voice in Spanish. Have a nice day. I'm like, oh, okay.
But like,
I mean, wouldn't that be easier? Because she has to put like basically mimic another person. Yours is like more monotone. Be like, hola, buenas tardes.
Is that monotone? I don't think so, sir. You just sounded like
I can put a little like comical point to be like, hola, buenas tardes. Wait,
when I've gone to voice acting classes, they've always said your voice is a character in of itself.
You're an MC.
Right. Yeah.
So like, it's important that you act as you because you're a character.
Oh.
But I'm the main character, not you.
I am the MC.
They look
But,
at
like,
you.
It's like an example I can think of right now. You might understand. Well, have you watched The Seven Deadly Sins?
No.
I've seen the 7 Deadly Schmucks.
Oh god. No, but like it's like, you know, one of my favorite characters there is Escanor, and it's like you can make him sound like, you know, because he's a tall, muscular person, but like one thing that one thing that's great about him is that even his voice actor portrays him as being this proud, you know, this proud person that like no matter what, he's like, I'm always better than you. So like you can like if you hear his voice, you can just hear the pridefulness in his voice, and it's like, at least for me, that's when I was like, that's a great character. Oh, that's a great voice actor. So even his voice, you hear like, damn, he's prideful.
I think the best actors are able to, well, act. Duh.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
that too.
I think I've been hearing from a lot of voice coaches lately that it's not because I used to think like, oh, I don't have a very big voice range. Like my close friends, they can do so much, and they can do like all these impressions and stuff, and like it's not even about the impressions, it's just the way that they can change their voice so much, and I can't do that. But the last voice acting class I went to, the guy told me, or he told the class, you would rather be really good at a few things than just okay at a full range. Right?
That reminds me of what Marco said, a jack of all trades, but never a master of any, or something like that. I messed up the last part. Master of none. There you go.
Well, the voices are important, but it's voice acting. So if you can like pull off a really funny voice, but like your acting is like really terrible, then what's the point? Like it's a party trick at that point. It's not serious. Like you can't go anywhere with it unless you train.
Right. That's interesting.
Okay. See, for me, it was like, oh, you're the typecast. Here, come here, boy, come here. We need your
typecasting is horrible. That's why I always get the princesses.
Imagine, but you're like my queen. No,
don't say that. Don't say that.
So my question to you then, Shy, is that if typecasting is such a like problem, and you're trying to like, I guess, broaden your scope of like your range of voice, do they not give you tips on like how to practice going in and out of different ranges, or do you not feel comfortable yet like trying to? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I guess like whenever I go to voice acting classes, I never really know what they're going, like I can read the description and stuff and I can kind of get a base understanding, but like I don't really know what they're going to teach us. And I haven't gone to a class yet where they've like shown, I guess I have. This one guy, he's worked on like the original Pokemon, and he was the original Blue on Blue's Clues. He's a cool guy. And he's like, this is how you make lion sounds. And he grabbed like a paper towel roll, and he's like, you like breathe in while making like I can't even make the noise.
Rawr.
Like a rawr.
Exactly. But like he showed us how to do that, and that's like the most voice training I've gotten from a class. But I also saw this one guy, he was advertising his class on Twitter. Oh, I wish I remember what he did, but like he does monster voices basically. And he's like one of those, like, he can scream very well, like guttural screams. And he was teaching a class on how to train your voice to do that safely. And I almost took the class, but then I was like, I don't think I'm ready to do that yet. I think I will actually hurt myself if I try.
Okay.
So I am willing to try certain things, but I'm just not given the opportunity, and the things I am given the opportunity to, I'm just not ready for.
No, that's totally, like, perfectly fine. No, and I was asking that because it seems to me, and I could be totally wrong about this. Like, I would think that different VA schools would probably go through, I guess, certain curriculums or certain, I guess, classes in a different way, with different people showing you different ways of how they go about, certain obstacles. And I can imagine probably that if you were to go to a different VA school in another country, like say in this case like Japan, or like somewhere in Europe, right, or like in France or Italy, maybe like even a different language altogether, like Mexico and for Spanish, right? Like I would hope that they would try to like help you out to try to create more or to widen your range, at least for your voice, if that's something that you're looking to do, in order for you to get, like you said, like the lady from the Swiffer commercial, right? So you can be a lot more dynamic. But I mean, I don't know how the schools work.
I will say, you're talking about voice acting school. I did not go to voice acting school. There is not a voice acting school. I take classes online. The school that I go to,
I understand.
I learned about audio and video and writing and broadcasting, but there is no voice acting class. I do take theater
Interesting.
classes, but like if there's a voice acting school in the US, very cool. I would love to go to it, but I don't go to voice acting school. But it would be super helpful. And maybe I'm just not looking in the right places online. I'm sure there are coaches that talk about like, oh, here's how you do more cartoony voices. But how do you tell? To me, whenever I hear a voice and I think, oh, I can do that, I think, oh, it has to feel like this in my throat, or oh, it has to feel like this in my nose, or I have to do this certain thing. How do you tell someone how to voice something while feeling something, like physically?
When everyone's built different, right?
That's the acting aspect that's built into the VA, I guess you could say, world. And interestingly enough, I would have thought that people that are in that, I guess you can say, that world of voice acting would actually try to probably ask for a mentor, or look for a mentor, or shadow someone that's been there, done that, and pick up the the cues on certain things like that. But I don't know how that world works, and I'm genuinely curious about how, like, if that world is too big, or is it too small where everybody knows each other, or is there like enormous amount of people just on YouTube or on like any like podcast or like a Spotify
Podcast,
or
you
app.
say?
Yeah, like that,
like
wound
the
up,
one we're on.
right? That wound up on a, like, say, a variety show, right? Or doing like being the MC of some sort of TV show, or maybe the commercials that you enjoy watching. Like I would want to, like, if there's any way we could try to help you out with that, like maybe that 5 degrees of of people that might come in handy. You might want to speak to people that we probably know at some point, right?
Yeah.
And like that's my whole thing, because like I've seen, and again, this might go back to something that the guys and I talked about at some point in another episode, where like looking through a lot of these other podcast channels that might delve a little bit into certain things like voice acting, right? That happens to be in Japan, where they probably do have schools out there. They go about it in such a way where, like, these people are treated like royalty or like celebrity status, right? Where over here, it seems to be that maybe not an afterthought, but it's like it's something that I guess isn't as widely received, maybe, or maybe even looked for. They probably are hoping that one person can do like a range of voices, and let's see, you do this voice and then this voice, and like the whole episode or the whole show is like comprised of like 2 or 3 people, and it's like that's it, right?
Can I give an example?
Yeah, please go ahead.
The voice actor for Batman. He recently passed away this year.
R.I.P., bro.
Yeah, he did the movie for one of his movies. They paid him in the millions when he did the voice for Batman. And then the voice actor that did the dubbing for one of the characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, and it was like up there. It beat it in box office sales. The most recent movie for Jujutsu Kaisen. Guess how much this female voice actor got paid?
Probably nothing at all.
Like in the
compared to
hundreds,
what
like
the other guy-
compared to millions. And in sales, technically, it got outperformed. And this was both in the English language.
Well, I think the thing you said about like voice actors in a place like Japan being treated as celebrities and royalty, that kind of goes into like idol culture and how they're treated. And like, I think you're kind of romanticizing it a bit, but like it's easy to do that. I just happen to think of that, like there are like pros and cons to it, basically, especially
definitely.
with some cultures.
Right, definitely. And you like hit it right on the head right there. It's more of a culture aspect than actual, this is what it is. And I think more than anything else, the reason why I mention it is because that difference between cultures like Japan and the US, right? They conflict in that way. Where over here, I tend to see that a lot of people, like, maybe we can name off, like, off the top of our head, right? Like maybe 2, 3 voice actors that we really enjoy listening to because they have such iconic voices, that, like, a Batman, right? Like Marcos
Yeah,
just
yeah.
mentioned, like the voice actress of, Goku, or Sailor Moon, I'm sorry, or the voice actor of a Goku or something like that. And I guess they inch their way or themselves into that status of, like, they go to places and they're well recognized. And I think it's, and perhaps it is romanticizing it a bit, where they are admired, they are sought after because of their voice, and whether it be talent or whether it be hard work, I just see that I guess train of thought kind of melds a little bit, or kind of rubs shoulders a little bit, because we see that type of accolades or romanticization of idol worshiping, I guess you can call it, right? And sometimes it kind of trickles down over to the states. But again, I could be totally wrong, but it's just an observation I see, because it might be that there are, like, really talented people out here in the U.S. or even in Europe or something like that.
Or Asia, yeah, anywhere.
Yeah, right. And they just don't get that shine that other people do in that sort of culture that idolizes them because they're such an iconic voice, right? Like a Luffy, like a Goku, right, over there in JP. So those are the things those are the cultural differences that I notice. And basically, all I'm trying to say is that perhaps that cultural difference also, I guess, sways or molds whatever the direction of that type of, I guess you can say,
Market.
career that you choose to pursue. Like, basically, it kind of, like, dictates how well or not so well that person is going to be off doing those certain voices, right? And that's going back to if there's people in the industry that actually you can that could help other people, mentor them or something like that. Going back to that point.
Another example, look at animators. There's another stigma in animators in Japan. There's like name brand animators, and sometimes you hear about them, like the one that used to do Berserk. He passed away, but he was a very passionate individual, and people wanted him to do more, but it got to the point that his health wasn't helping him. And also nowadays, like, there's up and coming animators or drawers that want to make a manga, and this could lead to my other point that I want to talk about, is that there's different ways to now globally to support these people that are that have name brands, like they're famous for in their market of manga or drawing itself. And there's a Patreon now, an equivalent to Patreon from the US to over there. Like, I don't know what the concept, if there's idealization of any animator, or just like a Berserk drawer, a One Piece drawer, like those kinds of people. Like an example like that I wrote right now, they started in 2023, and they started with a goal of $30,000, and I think they already reached it in this early January to support this group that they're trying to make via Patreon.
You're talking about which studio?
Let me confirm.
I think that was on Kickstarter.
I think so. Yeah. Let me confirm that. But yeah, that's the thing. That's like, oh, it's 2023. Like, they stopped, during the pandemic, but they technically started this 10 years ago in 2013, 2010, and it didn't get that much traction, but it was always like having a $10,000, $30,000. And this year they opened it again, and it reached that goal, like with not even within the end of the month, to support up and coming animators or people that draw mangas. And is it the idol culture there? I'd say not, because it's international, and this just makes me like prove, like, it doesn't prove it, just gives me hopes for everything getting more, whatchamacallit, globalized, but also help people that are passionate enough in that art, may that be voice acting, be animation, hand animation, manga, right, drawing, globally help the world, helps them help them directly. It could have its consequences, of course, but at the same time, right now, they're like, okay, let's do this investment, and let's show what we're gonna put that money on, so that they can at least have a place to sleep and eat. Because there's a bad perception of the grand majority of that aren't breadwinners in the anime and the manga industry that have to be scraping to suffer for their passion, if you will, or suffer for
Right.
their art.
No, and I think also, and I'm sorry if I'm switching up the topic, but I do remember watching a YouTube video from the creator named Chibi Reviews, and awesome channel. I definitely recommend you guys watch him. He's super entertaining and very insightful. Definitely, he was explaining how during this winter season of anime, a lot of the shows, after like only maybe 3 episodes in, like as of right now, a lot of them have gone on hiatus until maybe like 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road, just because they're having issues, and they're citing obviously like I guess you can say what they're saying is basically that COVID or a variant of COVID is going on over there in Japan that is not allowing them to go on with their work. But also it might like Chibi kind of speculates that it might be certain companies that he names in the video, that if you guys want to go check, definitely check them out. These companies might be kind of like they're understaffed perhaps, and they just can't pump out enough work to get everything animated for people to enjoy. So it might be that is a problem that we're going to see during this the rest of the season, the winter season, I guess you can call it, and maybe trickle it into spring season. I kind of want to get you guys' thoughts about that. If you've heard of this, if this might be concerning to you guys, or if this is just water under the bridge type of thing.
Personally, I haven't heard of any of this. This is all new to me. So
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So definitely, I would recommend you guys look that up, because I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sad because I'm trying to watch my shows, like,
This is
and
animation
obviously
companies,
it's
yeah.
like obviously they have their reasons for it, but obviously the kid inside me.
Well, I think that with like a cool wrap up would be that in conclusion that right now having a passion,
Aliens.
supporting your team, your voice actors, supporting your companies, like, and not being constrained by the TOS of wherever you upload your content. What do you guys think?
say that again.
I didn't quite grasp that.
Support. One more time, dang it! Support your team.
It's like all they heard was aliens.
Drink your milk. Eat your proteins. Eat your veggies.
Wait. I thought you said
Wait.
something about TOS. Where did the protein come from?
It's okay. It's fine.
I know it's okay.
It was in the fine print. Didn't you read it? That's the TOS.
Yeah, I
That's
don't read
what it
fine
was.
print.
Yeah.
I have a scan. No, He's like, I
Wait,
have a.
so-
yeah.
I did want to ask Shy about this. Since we usually ask our special guest, are you team Apple or are you team Samsung?
I thought you were saying another one.
Or
Well,
Android, I guess you can call it.
I just kind of go with whatever I've been bought whenever I was younger. Like whenever I was like 10, my parents bought me an iPod.
Okay.
So then I just started getting like iPads and iPhones and stuff. I've never had a Samsung device
Not
before.
mine.
Nah, it's good.
It'd be like, would you want one? No.
And we are sponsored by no mine.
We are sponsored by no one because no one reached out.
Well,
Not this time.
with that,
Yes. go
what do you
ahead.
think, Shy? You want to thank us? Thank you for
Wow.
Do I want to thank you?
Yeah, thank you,
No.
Marcos. Of course not.
Yeah.
This is our pleasure, guy.
No, it's our pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you for answering the call when I randomly texted you.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought this was Chick-fil-A. What? My place?
That's what I thought too.
Absolutely.
Isn't this? I thought this is Wendy's.
No. Chick-fil-A.
Ma'am, this is a
Chick-fil-A.
Wendy's.
No, it's IHOP now.
But yeah. So where can people reach out to you?
I mean, you can find me on my YouTube. Hopefully, they'll put it in the description.
ShyRenn VA.
Yes.
Not in real life, though. Please
Two
don't reach out
N's.
there in real life.
No, please don't. ShyRenn with 2 N's. And
Wait, why
you can
two?
also because
That's how she spells it, guys. Come on.
yes, it's a
'Cause she
long
wants to.
story about how I made my name. Basically, I was making fun of myself whenever I put 2 N's on there. But you can also find me on Twitter under ShyRenn VA as well. You can find me on Casting Call Club under just ShyRenn.
2 N's?
Yes, always 2 N's.
Never one.
Never.
The one gets lonely.
No, if it's 1, then I'm referencing Undertale, and we hate Undertale. Of course, we hate Undertale. And
Yes,
PS4.
we all
Yes,
hate
we all hate
whoever this
Undertale.
person is. Yes. Oh, man.
That's also copyrighted, Marcos.
There you go.
Yeah, I
So-
guess we'll take this out.
So, Shy, we would definitely love to have you back on at some point in the future. If you would be so generous with your time and and grace us
And
with
presence.
your presence once more.
Right.
At some
Yeah.
time.
He just throws a watch at you, know? That's my time.
It's like, all right, peace out.
Thank you everyone for
He
joining
drops
us
the mic.
on this episode of the
Wait, hold up. That's expensive.
And, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Jose. And once again, thank you very much, ShyRenn. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
This is Marcos, signing out.
What about us?
Yeah,
just
you
gonna
can say,
be stuck
you
in
can say
limbo?
goodbye.
My
You can say
man, my man
goodbye.
said peace.
He said good night and then leaves us in the room.
Have
You're
a good
"Oh,
time."
okay. All right, see you later, guys. Please come back.
Goodbye, everyone.
Hi there. Thank you for tuning into the LTS podcast. All the notes and more can be found in the description. By the way, we have a social media page where content is posted regularly. Feel free to reach out at us through there or via email. Both are found in the description. So Alan, don't you forget that to remind the characters or the listeners, what am I saying? The listeners that there's some little extra stuff at the end of the description of each podcast episode that you can find in Spotify, right, Alan?
That's right, Marcos. A poll or maybe a link. Anything and everything. At least that's what I think. Yeah, so guys, at the end of the podcast, when you're finished listening, don't forget to participate in our polls that we usually have.
I'll try to have stuff, polls, questions, comments. You could always drop us a comment, through the links that we have in the description as well of our guests and our own. Also, please rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast catcher. Every comment is really appreciated. Music credits in the description as well. Peace.